En algunas regiones han emergido grupos civiles armados que pretenden reemplazar al Estado en el servicio de la seguridad pública por considerar que éste no lo brinda de manera eficiente y satisfactoriamente, particularmente en el combate a los grupos del crimen organizado. A pesar de los esfuerzos realizados y de los avances logrados hasta ahora, es necesario reconocer que los problemas que he descrito aún subsisten, poniendo en evidencia que es mucho lo que falta por hacer para consolidar el régimen de derechos humanos en México. Es todavía necesario lograr que todos los ordenamientos jurídicos, así como las políticas públicas, las disposiciones administrativas y todas las resoluciones judiciales de aplicación general se basen y se sustenten en el tema de los derechos humanos.
Nuremberg was not about the Holocaust. The word Holocaust didn't exist then. It was about crimes against humanity, crimes against the peace.
In the spirit of the work of Simon Wiesenthal, who always emphasized that it's our obligation to the victims to do whatever we can to bring these people to justice, we continue his efforts and will continue to do so as long as we can. Thank you very much.
Con la complicidad del mundo gentil que no hizo nada para salvarlos. El pueblo judío es diferente a todos los demás pueblos del mundo. Para nosotros, justicia es apoyar, ayudar, dar lo mejor de nosotros para el prójimo. No importa si es uno religioso o laico.
El Talmud menciona que aquel que salva una vida está salvando a toda la humanidad. Lo único necesario para que persista el mal, que las personas de buena voluntad hagan nada. Edmund Burke. La triste verdad es que el mayor mal es causado por las personas que nunca se deciden en hacer bien o el mal. Finalmente, esto por un pastor protestante en la Segunda Guerra Mundial de Alemania. Al final, Dios no nos librará de culpas. El no hablar es hablar y el no actuar es actuar.
During the war, you could not tell the child that he was Jewish. Because when you told the child he was Jewish, and anybody who's ever taught kindergarten understands there are no secrets. Children tell you everything. If you told the child he was Jewish, he was not only endangering him or herself, but he was endangering you and your family. In the immediate aftermath of the war, you were hesitant to tell the child that he was Jewish or she was Jewish, because you were afraid that your neighbors would turn against you for being a Jew lover, and also because you had developed a relationship with that child and really treated them as your own. And because you were believing Catholic, you wanted to baptize that child.
Ser recibido con insultos, golpes, humillaciones, ser separado de tu familia para llegar solo a las puertas del infierno. Que eso fue muy difícil sobrevivir, pero aquí estoy. Milagro, casualidad, Dios, no sé.
Now to get into the protected houses was not difficult. The soldiers didn't care. I mean, they were out in the front, go in there. However, to come out, that was the very, very difficult thing.
What we call in literature choiceless choices. Normally we believe that morality is a choice between good and bad. Morality in their world was a choice between the awful and the impossible. You saw Bill Bash, who said what? He was limping with gangrene. We had promised to give our lives for each other. And in that moment, what? We couldn't do it. There are many stories like that.
A man who devoted his entire life to trying to bring Nazis to justice after he was liberated from the Mauthausen concentration camp in 1945. And Mr. Wiesenthal actually was an architect before the war, a very successful architect, but after the Shoah he decided that instead of returning to his profession, he would devote himself to trying to bring Nazi war criminals to justice, because he felt that the fact that he had survived, unlike so many other people, in a sense, obligated him to make his life meaningful.
For 5 or 6 years, if a man lowered his trousers, he could be condemned to death. And within less than 9 months later, Jewish boys were getting circumcised and having an indelible mark of the Jewish future put onto their skin. And Jewish kids who did not get circumcised from 1941 to 45 were being recircumcised to rejoin the Jewish people. It was an act of faith in the future.
What is found in the Shoah, it is not in the killers, but it's in the rescuers and the people who did something to save human life and to restore the name of God.
Once the Americans started looking for Joseph Mengele, Israel joined in the search, Germany joined in the search, and at long last, a comprehensive search was conducted in the offices of Hans Seidelmeyer, who was the German attorney who represented the Mengele family, and lo and behold, it was revealed that Joseph Mengele had died of a heart attack in 1979 while swimming in the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and was buried in a place called Embu near Sao Paulo. Now, imagine for a moment that this search would have taken place not in 1986, but in 1976 or even 66, when Mengele was alive, could have been caught, could have been brought to justice, and one of the people who has become a symbol of the Nazi criminality, of the perversion of science, the misuse of medicine, what probably would have been one of the most important trials in history, could have been caught and brought to justice, and unfortunately, it did not happen.
The trials did not end there. And let's talk about one other aspect of the Nuremberg trial before we leave it, and that is the trial as theater. See, the trial had, and I know that people don't like the word show trials, but sometimes the most important thing in the world for society is to show certain people in the docket. And to use the trial as a tool of education, not for the condemned, it's too late for them, but for the nation as a whole, and in this case for the world in its entirety. And therefore it was drama, it was theater, and it also was belated, inadequate, symbolic, partial, inadequate, small letter, justice.
Para comenzar, quiero decirles que mi posición en cuanto a venganza o justicia, que es el tema de estas conferencias, es la misma que la posición del pueblo judío. Nosotros no buscamos venganza, sino que buscamos la aprehensión, si es que los hay todavía, de los perpetradores, la mayoría por razones de la misma vida ya murieron. Además, nosotros los judíos repetimos todos los días Ose Shalom Bimoromav Hu Yaseh Shalom Alinu Ve'al Kol Israel Ve'imru Amen.